Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Let's do this, guys. We are live and we are ready and pumped up for a big week. Man, this is going to be a fun show as everyone's getting ready for a big week in sport karate. I know both of us are a little bummed that we will not be there, but we're excited that VFT is going to be at the Diamond Nationals doing Last Man Standing, and go out, support, go to their website, guys, go to their Instagram, go to their Facebook, get a shirt, get a hat, get a mask, support VFT and Jesse Ray as they're doing big things, guys. What's up, Chris? What's up, Jackson?
Yeah, I'm excited about the Last Man Standing. It's going to be exciting. You know, I'm a little bummed, I'm going to be honest, though, because there's only one 3-minute round. But we'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Check out the VFT YouTube page. They just launched that and really putting a lot of new content out there. So go check that out as well.
They got one? All right, I'm going to go check that out now. That's cool.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. And again, thank you, Virtual Fight Tour, for sponsoring us here at Inside Scoop and the Martial Arts Internet Network. Let's talk just a couple of things, because we're going to talk a lot about the Last Man Standing, what our opinions are on it, what we're excited about, and also maybe a little bit of what if there was Last Man Standing over these past 6 years where there was, or 5 years where there was 2 diamonds instead of 1, right?
Right.
So we're going to talk a little about that. So start getting your fantasy kind of booking going on, guys. All right. So if you haven't checked out Main Point, go check that out, guys. We've had some fun recording those. We've had
the ones that we did so far. We did Should Knockouts Be Legal or Illegal?
That one came out. Is that one came out today?
Yep,
knockouts.
I think I agree with Travis on that one. No, they can't. You got to be hard. You got to have a hard set rule. Even though as the competitor, right,
it kind of stinks for you on certain cases, but you got to have a rule.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, Jackson. I'm sorry. Yeah, there still are 2 ring winners. It's just the Last Man Standing is going to get extra money.
There's still 2 ring winners. But in the end, it's kind of be funny. How are you going to win? Like, I won the diamond ring, and then I got whooped.
Hey,
right?
Well,
it's going to be weird.
Don't get whooped.
It's going to be a thing. It's got to be somebody.
That's right. We also had, should you bring your significant other to karate tournaments?
Where were you on that one? What did you think about that?
I'm kind of, that's kind of tough, man. I think it depends. I think it's good too. I don't think they need to come every time. I think it just depends on if they want to, but I think the invite should be there. If not, then it's kind of like, well, but
I think, I think you're right. Like the invite should be there, but this should be like, hey, I'm going to invite you, but I mean, come on.
It just depends. I'm in a different situation than you are, like my significant other has 3 kids that do martial arts, that compete at tournaments. So, and she's a martial artist, so she gets it, so it's a little different. But wow.
What do you say? Depends if your mistress is there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. That might be. Yeah, I would go with a no on that one.
I would say
probably don't do that.
Here we go.
Not that one coming.
Yeah, I didn't. And then the first one we did was the about traditional weapons being more traditional. So we talked about that. That was a hot button topic. So getting lots of comments on those, guys. Go and check those out. If you haven't checked out our page, go check out. We have 2 more coming out this week. So
I'm excited about it.
Tomorrow and Friday. So it's going to be good. We have I think a martial arts movie type one coming out tomorrow. So, and then Friday, a big one that you guys are gonna, it's gonna be intense.
Spoiler alert! I'm debating.
Yeah, man. So check those out, guys. We've had a lot of fun doing those. Everyone that's watching right now, thank you guys for joining us. And let's go ahead and just kind of talk about the Last Man Standing. All right.
Yeah.
So Neither of us will be at Diamonds this time, Andrew, but unfortunately. But I know I'll be at I have about 3 days of a festival that I'll be at, like almost 12 hours each day, setting up. Yeah, like there's a big, it's a railroad festival. It's a big
for your
thing.
school. No, man.
Yeah, for my karate school, we're setting up a vending table and doing a parade and all that stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy weekend, but that's what I'll be doing. But all right, let's talk about Last Man Standing. So what's gonna happen? Of course, we have the lightweight
ring winner.
Grand happens, right? And we had and then there becomes the diamond ring winner for the lightweights, right? For the men's. The heavyweight Grand
ring winner
becomes the diamond winner. Then we'll take those two and fight it off. So different than what happened at Amerikick. They have, Diamonds, I guess, had told VFT that they have a schedule. Because, Diamonds is a long finals, man. There's a lot. They jam a lot in there, as we've talked about. So it's going to be 1 3-minute round. So more than what normally is, but it's going to be 1 3-minute round. It's going to be different. Again, every round then is kind of different,
Yeah, but then it's like, it's kind of weird because you're going to go from, the lightweight
two
2-minute rounds. Now you got 1 3-minute round.
Right. Well,
in some respects, I like that. It's like, okay, it's a 3-minute round because that's kind of what like a full contact boxing or kickboxing match is, a 3-minute round. So I'm like, all right. Some of me goes, all right, but then the other ones go, wait a minute, we just did 2 rounds. Now we're gonna go backwards.
But it's more of a sudden death type, take all last man stand type thing. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, if you win this, you get to go to this extra round. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way I've seen it.
Yeah, so, and obviously it's going to be spun in a positive way. It's going to work out great. But I like what Andrew just said. Andrew just said, the Hall of Fame ceremony is an hour itself.
It's true.
And it is one of the ones where for a time everybody is kind of curious, like, all right, I guess who's going to make it into the Hall of Fame this year? Because it does kind of matter to people. It really does. But there's a good amount of people where it's like, all right, that's cocktail hour.
Right. Yeah. It's a long finals. Right. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I was looking at my Facebook statuses and posts that I put from like a couple, I guess it was 2013, 2014 or something like that popped up yesterday and the day before. And just interesting stuff, talking about Trevor versus Olt and, Dewan, fighting really well that day and things like that. So, and then just, and just, my results and stuff like that. So it was interesting, looking back at it. So what does everyone think about the concept? What do you think is going to happen with the 3-minute round? Let's also kind of get into I don't want to say pick one person, but maybe let's think of our top 4 or maybe our top 8 that we think that you're looking at to really make it to the final or even win it all,
Right. Well, this is going to be where I probably say something that people are going to be like, what? Alex said this again? Because if you're going to talk about, all right, like the top 10, let's just say you talked about the top 10 possible candidates.
Right.
8 of them are lightweights.
Yeah. Agreed.
There are 2 people, light heavyweight or heavyweight. I'll throw in even middleweights. All right. That you even think are possible candidates to win a heavyweight ring or definitely make it to the last man standing. There is Cam Dawson and Avery Plotman.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, I think those are the 2 that as far as on that side, I would say so. But there may be some others that could pull something out, but this is
why in weeks and episodes past where I've talked about is Ryan George, is he going to be a light middleweight or middleweight? Is Kevin Walker, is he going to be a light middleweight?
And that's kind of what I was going to say.
Then it's like, all right, now we got something to talk about, right? Because then if they're not and they're on the welterweight side, okay, now they're there.
It's jam packed.
Now it's like, all right, which the lightweight diamond ring winner is the ring. Because what if Cam's not able to make it, and Avery's not able to make it? Then you're like, all right, well, I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Now I'm going to say something right now, and we're going to go past it, but I'm going to say it because I'm going to say it. All right. Listen, people got upset when I said, listen, I'm not interested in the 18 plus women right now. We went over that. All right, guys.
Right.
But really, if you tell me that Avery Plowden and Cam Dawson aren't in the tournament, are you that interested in anybody on the heavyweight side? If somebody from your school or team is not there, are you at all interested in watching it? If either one of them aren't there, no, you're not.
Right.
You're going to pay attention because you like the sport.
Yeah, you're going to pay attention because you're there and you love the sport. Yeah.
And you're going to be like, all right, Edgar Hermani, let me see how this guy does, because that guy's pretty good. I like his style. All right. But let's be honest. If Edgar Hermani and Kevin Walker and Jack Felton and Bailey Murphy are all in the finals, you're going to go, wow, Jack, Bailey, Kevin, they're all in the finals. Wait, who else is there? Oh, all right.
Right now, yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Until he does more. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
But until he beats them and then wins it, now we're like, okay, now he's one of them, which is the same exact thing I was talking about with the women, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead, get mad. All right. But that's kind of what we want to see. So I think, can we make that a short topic? All right. If what we want to see is Avery versus Cam.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, exactly. That's kind of what I'm talking about
right now. Right?
Like, yeah. So Jackson, yeah, I agree, man. Cam versus Avery. We need to see that. Would love to see it. It wouldn't happen for the ring though.
Can't, because they're either both heavyweights or Avery's going to be light heavy,
and the other one's heavy. Yeah.
But as jacked as that dude is,
yeah,
he's going to have to be 4% body fat to be there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we have to ask our producer how much he's weighing now. I mean, we don't know. Probably won't know. Yeah. So I mean, that's the unfortunate part. And again, for something like that. That's where I see, even though it is the diamonds and it's the long finals, that's where I see the tournament being like, hey, we're going to go ahead and get all the other first rounds done, but we're going to put this one on. I've seen that happen at tournaments before. I've seen it happen at, NASCAR tournaments, NBL tournaments. It happened with Raymond and Trevor several times, because one was a super heavyweight, one was a heavyweight. And they ran all the others down, and then they said, well, we're going to put this one on the stage.
Because you just knew,
they still had to fight 2 more times.
There's no way this fight is going to be get your popcorn ready.
Right, exactly. Start the whole show. Start the whole tournament with that, right? If that happens. That's what my opinion would be.
and I just kind of wish that other finals would have the flexibility to be able to do stuff like that. Because there's been times where it's like, all right, these 16, 17 boys, both of these guys are going 18 plus after this, because it's a tournament like the Diamonds or whether it's Pan Am's.
Right.
You're towards the end of the year, and you're like, all right, you guys are the best. It's for first place. Let's go.
Right.
Put you guys are going to kick off the show just like you started. Right?
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't think the open weight, I don't think they're doing it like AKA or Bavalina.
Open weight is just open weight.
Yeah. I mean, that would actually be interesting if they would do it that way, as the last man standing was those 4 against each other. But the thing is, you got to have the diamond fights in the finals. You have to. It's called the Diamond Nationals. You can't they did at one time, which I thought was ridiculous. I used to hate that. When they first did the super fights, and they wouldn't even have the diamond ring fight on stage.
You did that, yeah, 1 year in 2004, and it was a great.
2004. Yep.
2004.
And it was Raymond and Jay.
Yeah. No, it was Jason and Trevor.
Jason Trevor. Sorry, yeah, Jason Trevor.
And I'm like, they talk about this is the year we're talking about. We're talking about 2004, Jason. All right,
yep.
And Trevor.
It was probably his best. Yeah.
Newly on Paul Mitchell. Trevor, he's been there at that point like a year and a half, right?
Yep. And it was the 3rd year in a row that they were in the finals against each other.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's like, come on, and Trevor won it. And that's the thing. I remember where I was when that happened, and it was like, as you could imagine, everybody standing on chairs around it.
Yep.
Just like, you can't freaking make this stuff up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was great. It was bittersweet, but it was great. And I remember standing next to Larry saying, this is the 3rd year in a row that they've been to final 2 in this. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, man. So it was nuts. But yeah, I think So for me, I mean, Cam, Avery. As far as the lightweight side, you got to put Bailey as the favorite. I think Enrique, is another one. Jack, hopefully Jack will be there. James Ford is someone who's coming on, man, who's been, turning it up lately and getting in there. So I mean, that's going to be interesting to see.
I'm going to throw a curveball out there that I have no reason to believe that this could be possible. But what if Elijah Everill?
That's what I was just going to say. Chris said, some guys were coming, so.
Everybody wants to be secretive about it, and I get it, but I'm definitely – listen,
if that's happened, I think the game changes. I mean,
I'm a loyal guy. I'll keep your secret, but obviously if like my emotions are right here, guys. Here they are.
Yeah, All-Stars is going to be there, so I'm sure that, Kevin
so if Elijah Everill is there, listen, everybody kind of would put, all right, Bailey Murphy is your top because he's beaten everybody. However, Jack Felton did it.
Right.
Elijah Everill did it.
Right.
Gee, man. And all of them are on the lightweight side of things.
I know. So who would one of them move up, though? You know what I mean? Would Elijah move up?
Hey, listen. Even that dude is 27 feet tall.
Yeah, I know. He's pretty skinny. I know.
He's still 142 pounds. All right. With shoes on.
I don't know, man. This is going to be exciting, but again, it's that lightweight side. It's like it's so crazy. I mean, Robbie won his division last year, then lost to Enrique, and then you had Bailey and Enrique. I mean,
here's where I'm going to give Enrique a lot of cred, right? So Enrique,
hey Kyle.
What up, Kyle? Enrique beat Robbie as a right side fighter, lead leg kicker. Let's just put that into dynamic, all right? We're talking about Robbie Lavoie, all right? Blitz Mania, spin kick and special, all right? And Enrique Latona. I'm going to get because like I mentioned before, when Robbie was on as a guest, there was an intentional strategy. Alex does not fight Robbie. Right. Alex can fight Raymond, as crazy as this is. Alex can fight Raymond. Alex can't fight Robbie. That was a legit strategy.
Yeah.
So I'll give him some credit on that one. But I mean, as far as a team, yeah, I'm picking All-Stars.
Oh, you mean like for
wait, as far as a team, if they're doing the team fights, but because look at who we're talking about.
Dude,
I understand.
How'd you just flip off? You just drifted off into something else. What in the world?
I'm coming back. All right.
Heck, we're talking about last man standing final. We ain't talking about team fights.
That's why I'm going there, because look at what we just talked about. We're talking about all these guys from one team who really have a chance to win the last
right. Now again, I don't know. But I don't know if Elijah can get over here. I don't know what the deal is.
Here's why I said that. Because he was just in Hungary.
Right, but that's Hungary. Well, no, I know. No. It's different than America, but I agree.
Can get out of the UK, maybe they can. I have nobody said anything. I've not heard anything.
Right.
I've just paid attention to stuff. So if he can get out of the UK,
right,
maybe he can. Do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
True. I mean, I love it, but hold on. Travis said, I mean, 199 is.
That's where Avery's at. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'm not kidding. He probably is. He's probably going to be probably 5% body fat.
It's nuts, man.
I've never been that.
I'm excited, dude. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. So get out there, get the live stream, check out Virtual Fight Tour to see their page, to see what they're doing as far as streaming that final fight. So yeah, man, there's going to be a lot of stuff. Let's see. Jackson says team fights would be great. Top 10 USA, straight up legend. Next level TDE all have great squads that could show up. Now I don't know about TDE. Have they had? They haven't really had a team really anywhere.
Have they had anything this year?
No, they haven't. That was something that that was a topic when we had times to have topics, was something like what has happened to TDE. They really haven't. Cam fought a little bit. Ryan's done some pro point. That's really it, as far as everybody else. So, I mean, I may be missing somebody, but so
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what happens with those guys, but
Ryan
I don't know.
was fighting this. I think Ryan was just fighting at Texas Tough. So he was fighting.
Yeah. Ryan's fighting. Ryan is definitely getting out there. So, so I don't know. I love to see that Ryan would be out there, which I think he might. It may be something that he's doing on his own. So, who knows? Okay.
Back saying that he heard that.
But again, what I'm saying is, like, is there even a team? Because a lot of these guys aren't really competing right now.
Yeah, even if it was.
Right. And some aren't. I don't know. I'm not sure what all the things are now with what they're doing, So I know a lot has changed over the past 2 years with that. So, all right. So do we want to break it down? Like who would you like to see in those two?
Yeah. I think. All right. So let's for the lightweight ring, I want to see Jack and Bailey. But Bailey would have to go lightweight in order for that to happen. So I don't think that can happen that way. So
right.
Because I think Bailey's a light welter.
Yeah.
Jack is a welter.
They're gonna have to fight there. Yeah.
And both of them are too good. Like Bailey's too good to go, or let me go down to lightweight. Like you're the freaking man. You're not moving your division.
Yeah, no, he's exactly.
So that can't happen. So since that's not gonna happen, now you're forced to pick between the two of them.
I know. I mean, and even if I
avoid that pick right now, don't you?
Yeah. So I mean, again, I'm gonna go with who I feel like is on fire right now, and I think it's Bailey right now. I'm not necessarily saying that I think he in a head-to-head against Jack, because last year, something different happened, or the last time 2 years ago, Jack lost to somebody else, So, so I mean, the way it is, the lightweight division is just, that whole area is just insane. So I'm not sure, but I would say, yeah, I mean, Bailey or Jack.
Here's what I'll say.
The heavyweight, I think Avery. Unless if Elijah does come over, and he goes over to that, what is it, middle or light middle?
No way.
Is that what it is?
That heavy. There's no way he's that heavy.
Hey, who knows, man? And
he would have to put a 45-pound plate in his back pocket.
I don't think so, dude. I think he was right around that 160, 170.
No chance.
So anyways, I mean, that would be an interesting one. Seeing him and Elijah for the diamond, that would be fun, Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to see Avery and Jack, and I'd like to see Bailey and Avery in the final, either one. So
what I'll say is that I don't see Bailey losing to anybody at all, unless it would be Jack Felton.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only person I see that I would pick beating Bailey.
What about if Elijah came over?
I think here it's Bailey.
Okay.
I think if Bailey went somewhere and fought in Europe in Waco, I think it could be possible that, Elijah gets him. But no, the only person I could envision possibly getting Bailey would be Jack. That's it.
In that bracket, yeah.
No. That's
any of it? Okay. You don't see Avery? Okay.
That's it.
All right. I
don't see anybody beating him. That's it.
Got it.
So Enrique Latona, no. Right. Robbie, John Curtillo, no. The whole lightweight side, James Ford, no. I'm going to pick Bailey. It's Bailey. So that's it. I'm just going to go right now. I say Bailey wins the lightweight.
Bailey wins it all? All right.
He wins the lightweight ring. Yep.
I'm going to say. All right.
For the heavyweight, that's Avery.
Yeah. I'd have to pick Avery. So I think I'd be going Avery to win it all. So yeah. Interesting, guys. It could be, and again, we've been wrong so many times on this. So, Yeah, there's a lot of young guys and stuff. Could Tyreek cause an upset?
Thinking about
could
Tyreek could cause an upset.
Could Payne these stats,
If Tyreek causes an upset, here's the problem. It's not really a problem. I could see Tyreek beating Bailey and then losing to Avery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. I that's what I mean. I think that this kind of thing, especially at Diamonds, happens.
Yes.
It happens a lot. So it's an interesting event, guys. Like people don't, if you haven't been, or if you like think, oh, it's just another tournament. No, it's not. It's a
little different.
It's a little different. The pressure, the expectation, everything, man. And really, it's one of the best finals, I think, as far as actually having tons of people there watching. It's not one where it's this big thing. I mean, sometimes there's a lot of people and sometimes there's not. No, people are there and they're into it too. They're really into it.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Hey, I want to get to this question that Richard asked. And he kind of says, is this what we are missing in our sport? Marketing teams and players that are confirmed, or is the surprise element better?
I hate
there's a double-edged sword with that.
I hate this.
I think with big events, like the Diamonds and maybe US Open or that, yeah, it's good to market those types of things because people want to go and see those people and compete against those people because they're going to a big tournament, right? But if you're marketing at, say, my tournament or another one that these top fighters are coming,
doesn't mean
that could be a bad thing because people are kind of like, I maybe go watch them, but I'm not going to compete. Unfortunately, that's kind of where we are a lot,
See, I think that might be a culture on different areas, because I think if you did that in different areas, I think people might understand that, like, all right, if let's say Ross Levine is coming, all right?
Right.
And you're like, it's Ross Levine. And then some areas have the culture of, I want to say I fought Ross Levine.
Yeah, yeah.
Understanding that they have no chance of scoring 2 points. They might get one.
Right.
They have no chance of scoring 2, but they want to be like, I fought Ross Levine. That's what.
And there are some
people lose with a smile.
There are some people like that. I mean, when Ross came to my tournament, it was like that. But was there more fighters because of that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that in the grand scheme of things, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, it could be kind of a double-edged sword. I do like the surprise element as well.
I hate
it. But
I can't stand it.
Huh?
I can't stand it. I hate it.
You can't stand that? Why?
I hate it. Because don't you want to know who's there?
I mean, show up and you'll see who's there. What do you mean?
Stupid.
So you want to know exactly who you're going to compete against before you go? Is that what you're saying?
I got nothing to hide.
Right? Oh yeah. All right. No. Time out. All right. You're saying you hate people being secretive about it. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's not what he's talking about. That's talking about, hey, should we market tell everyone who is all going? When now we kind of have that way. If that's meaning that everyone is pre-registered. So if everyone's pre-registered, then we can say, these are all the people who are going to be there at the event. It's a little bit different because then it's already cut off. You know what I mean?
We could try to look, but.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's like, you're not going to know unless the promoter does that and does it. The problem is with promoting different people coming to your event, you're going to leave someone out and someone's going to get pissed off. Oh, I'm not special enough to have a Facebook post about. I'm not there are people in schools that are like that. So
to just be honest with them and say, no. You're not Ross Levine.
Right.
Sorry. Check back in when you are.
Right. Right. Yeah. Andrew said that kind of worked in Canada when Ross was coming. There was people wanting to come fight him. So
I want to touch back on what.
Agree. We gotta promote the top players. We do. We definitely do.
Yes. I want to touch back on something Andrew said. Andrew said Diamonds is always full. It is usually full.
Yeah.
Right. There have been some years where it was just been jam-packed, like in just any 18 plus men's fighting division. Let's just talk about that because we're talking heavily on the last man standing. So we're going to talk about that. Okay. So where there was been 20 plus in every weight division. All right. In the lights, the middles, the heavies, the welters, etc. You name it. I do remember a year where in my division, it was me, Chance Turner, and Raymond Daniels. That's it. And here's what it did.
Again, I think you misunderstood what Andrew was saying. He was talking about the finals, dude.
Oh, well, yes. But I'm going to come full circle with this.
Yeah, right? I know. We've heard the story. Tell us.
Well, I think that single A thing really kind of screwed it, right? Because everybody kind of said, oh, I'm going to go do the single A thing and try to see if I can win, right? And it was like, well, wait a minute. All you had to do was just be there, all right?
Right.
Be a sacrificial lamb, and you just got a third place. Yeah. That's all you wanted.
Right.
But then they did a good job kind of correcting itself because then the years later, it really filled back up.
Yeah.
So all those divisions are started to be full again. But
yeah. Yes, no, I mean, I agree. I think it is full. And yeah, there's a lot of heavyweight NK fighters. Yeah. But yeah, I think the finals is always packed and full. So most of the time as well, too. So it's always a fun one. Yeah, I like Jackson's point about from a media standpoint, it's helpful. I agree. And it's helpful for us to be like, all right, this guy's going. It's fun, and it gets people excited. And more eyes will watch it that are there and that aren't there, So
people should want to mention something. People should want to be like, yeah, I'm going. Yeah. Watch out. I'm,
yeah, I don't want to be secretive. If I was going to the Dimes, I'd be telling everybody because I'd be pumped. Like I couldn't hold that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I want to. So, I mean, I'm still a little upset that I'm not, but it's okay. It is what it is. So, all right, let's take this scenario and let's take it a little bit.
Last man standing.
When 2015, when the first time they had a lightweight and a heavyweight diamond, right? So we got Justin Ortiz won the lightweight, beating Jack, right?
He beat Jack for the diamond.
Yep, beat Jack. Great fight. We talked about that one big time on our interview with Justin, and we have Roman Brundle that came over and won that one. So two of the best kickers against each other.
They were the best kickers that year too.
Oh yeah, the best. Yeah, Justin Ortiz, Roman Brundle. Interesting fight. Did Justin say he had fought him before? I don't think
he has fought him. He has fought him.
He has? Okay. All right. I mean, at that time, Roman was on fire. I mean, it's hard to go against Roman with the height, but if anyone that could do it, I think it would be Justin. Because
who do you pick? Who do you think?
I mean, I'm going to go Roman on that one.
Here's a weird one. I'm going to go Justin.
All right.
I thought I was going to go Roman.
Yeah, I was.
So I feel like around that time was probably about close to, if not Justin's peak, right? Well, we saw Justin's highest highs. Now he's been a champion.
Yeah.
Competitions after that, obviously. But I just think that Justin Ortiz, it was like a traveling show, right? Like he was that good. And I remember the skills of Roman then, as to what he was able to do. But I also remember the difficulty he had with people who were able to move as well as they do and kick. Like when he would fight Robbie Lavoie, he was still able to get Robbie because he could get to him and he could move. Roman cuts off the ring very well. He cuts it off not just with like a leg, he cuts it off with his whole body. But when Zolt would fight him, Zolt actually is like 6 feet or 6'1". But when he fights Roman, he actually shrinks himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it's almost like he shrimps himself and is constantly moving. And I'm like, when I'm watching the strategy, I'm like, oh, okay, now he's going to try and come like with his hands. And he didn't. He didn't even really punch at all. Right. He moved like he moved like he was James Poor, but then he would kick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is interesting. And then I think back, like, I actually think Justin might have got the better of that one.
That's true. That's true to think about that. That's true. You're right. All right. 2006, it was Kevin and Zolt.
Or 2016?
2016, yeah, sorry. 2016. Kevin won the lightweight. Zolt won the heavy.
Kevin.
You go first.
Kevin
at that time.
Kevin beat Jack to get to there. Kevin beat Jack and Justin.
And then he beat Justin, to win that one, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd say Kevin on that one. I know, I mean, Zolt's a hard one to go against, but I'd say Kevin on that one. Here's
the other reason. So, that match that Zolt had to win his ring, he fought Trevor. And this is Trevor Nash fashion. There was a couple of calls that were like really soft that went Zolt's way.
I knew that was coming.
And don't even get we're gonna talk about that later, man. All right.
Another time, yeah.
But Trevor was trying to kill Zolt, all right?
Right.
Towards the end of that match, he was trying to kill him. All right. At one point, Zolt's legs in the air, and he's doing a fantastic job keeping him at bay. And Trevor grabs his leg, grabs his uniform pant leg, and is trying to like rip his pants off almost. So, dude, you piss that guy off, it's game over. It's not fun. I think that and the hot streak Kevin was on, I think Kevin wins. Right.
Oh man. All right. 2017, Kevin won again, and he would go against Tomas Embry. So I know you're going with Kevin on this one.
That's hard.
That's a tough one.
I'm not really like a major fan of Tomas Embry because he doesn't kick at all ever.
You're right.
But I actually feel like his spacing is so good. I feel like Tomas would win that one. His spacing is so good. Yeah. And he will not kick. And if you go kicking at him, like he's like, thank you. That's the one thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants. Yeah.
Thank you. Please come do that.
So I think Kevin wouldn't play that game with him. Like Kevin's kind of experienced enough to do it, and he's well rounded. He's not just a kicker like some of the other ones that have won that lightweight. So I think he would be able to turn it around.
So you're saying Kevin?
Yeah. All right. 2018. This would be an interesting one. New York versus New York. James Poor after that amazing comeback versus Ross. Right. So, and I've seen these guys fight each other.
Ross's final win was a freaking fantastic one as well.
I know.
They were tied. They went to overtime, and then Ross gets the head kick.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a sliding, leaning back hook kick. What? And it landed, but you're like, you can't make that crap up.
Yeah. So I mean, that was probably one of the best like Final Fours. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
It was great. So, and I've seen these two guys fight, and again, you got to think what they were like then, right? So Ross, really, that was one of his last point fighting tournaments. Really, he was getting out of it.
Yep.
I know they had fought some that year at some local events and stuff. I think James had beat him once, and he had beaten him. So I don't know, man.
I know
that's a tough one. I mean, it's hard to go against Ross.
It's the moment. It's the moment. You got to think about the moment.
Right.
Right. And so Ross probably saw his point fighting mortality. All right. And really had to come to an understanding like what do I want to do with this? Because he had the full contact stuff. He had been working that. Like, am I going to do this? I'm doing the amateur. Am I going to go? So he had been working that. And I think he probably saw his point fighting mortality and probably
would want to go out on top.
This may not happen again, not because I'm not able, but because I'm going to have a different chapter.
Correct.
So
yeah,
I'm going to go with Ross.
I agree. So 2019, Bailey and Avery. So at this time, again, we're talking about a different Bailey. Bailey was really turning on, and he had a great tournament. Because they was that where he won the teams? I'm getting confused because it's been so long. There was Diamonds that year, and then there was AKAs, right?
I think they won that.
I think they won. Yeah, they did. Now he lost to, who did he lose to in open weight? Did he lose to Cam or did he lose to Avery? I can't remember. I'm thinking he lost to Cam.
I think it was Cam. Avery was on the other. He was in the
Avery
other
lost to. Did Avery lose to
Anthony Merrick's?
Anthony Merrick's. Yep. All right, that's what it was. Yep. So both of them kind of had where they lost to certain people. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Both of them were on. Like, that was their year. You know what I mean? I just feel like at that time too, like Avery was thinking a little bit like his game was at a whole nother level. Now I think Bailey is up there. You know, it's not just athleticism, you know. And I feel like at that time Avery would have been the man. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with that too. And I think Avery was probably looking at that like, listen, I should have already had 2 other diamonds.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Look at the year before, I was a miracle head kick away from really winning this dang thing.
Right.
Right. And I'll say this in 2017. All right.
Yeah.
The first fight or for the division, he and Tomas Emre. I've never seen anything like this before. It was like mirror images. They would just clash. They're just body punching each other over and over and over again. And every single one went to Tomas. I've never seen anything like it. You literally, if you just watched the fight and you had no audio, you would swear the match was like 1-0 or 2-0. You would swear it was like that. And it was almost a spread. Could not even believe it. All right.
Right.
So I believe he probably was like, I should already have 2 of these dang things.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Avery in that scenario if it was that matchup.
So that's a fun little thing to think about. I wish they would have had that happen. I wish we still have 1 diamond.
Look at the thing we just went through.
I know. But I know a couple people say, you know, what about forums or that? You know, we're not really doing like a preview for the diamonds or whatever. But again, this is a great time for everyone trying to make a statement, you know. And so I know a lot of the women fighters are trying to go out there and make a statement. I'm excited to see who steps up in forms, weapons. I'd hope that it would come down like Connor and Rashad, because I think those 2 have really like stepped it up so much over this past year and 2 years. I would say weapons mostly. Yeah. For forms, I feel like there probably will be someone else who steps up. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing Danny Ekin probably.
Makes sense. I could see Danny nunchucking it out as well.
Right. So I mean, it's going to be a lot on that with the traditional. You know, who knows, man? It's there's so many new guys in there.
Loves himself some traditional weapons.
God, here we go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, traditional forms. It's hard to pick against Mason Stowell, man. He's freaking awesome right now. So
it's kind of gets to lose.
Yeah,
he would lose if he slipped.
I'd still like him to do open as well, though. I think he could win both. But I know he hasn't been training that. So
I think if he did CMX, he'd win.
Yeah, Mason Stowell at CMX is one of the better forms.
You think I've seen in a long time. He beat Connor Chastain
in forms?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, Mason, go get yourself some.
I think so. I mean, I really like Connor's form, but my favorite of Connor's forms is his creative. I think it's one of the most creative forms that we've seen. So I really like that. So
yeah, or Danny. I don't know. You think he could beat Danny? You think Mason could beat Danny?
I don't know. Mason hasn't done it in like 2 years or 3 years.
I don't know if I can't really remember.
Yeah. You need to go and check it out. I'm just telling you.
I'm going to now.
It's awesome, man.
I know I've seen it, but for some reason it's just not like.
He's one of the more all-around competitors.
It wasn't that memorable to me, so I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Yep. But yeah, so it's gonna be an exciting time. Check it out. I know all of us will be on the everywhere trying to live stream and watch and everything and check out, and we'll be annoying everyone. Tell me what's going on.
I might tell my mom to just go there and FaceTime me the whole time.
That would be great. Yeah. Yeah, dude, you got to look it up. He's unreal. Yeah, I
All
think
right,
that
I'll
would
go.
just be
I'll
an
go.
award.
I'll check it
So,
out. Don't worry. I'm not hating. I'm just
but
didn't. It wasn't that memorable.
yes, Mason is physically strong, especially now. I mean, that dude's gotten insane. So, all right.
Let's do some
Hold on, I
competitors
forgot.
of the week. Okay.
Okay, competitors of the week. You go
I'm
first.
gonna go first. All right, and it's Diamonds Week, which is always like an epic week. Like whether you're going or not, it's like Super Bowl week, right? And there should be a media day. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with someone who's very iconic in the Diamond Nationals. I'm gonna go with John Sue. So John Sue won in his tenure. There was like a 5-year span where John Sue was like untouchable, right? And he's won it all. Again, remember, John Sue has won with nunchucks, whip chain,
double whip chain,
double whip chain, and like multiple different Japanese forms. Like not just like a form, right? He's done multiple different forms, right? And he also made this like the pistol, the one-legged squat. He made that look like it was impossible. Yeah. And I remember for years, like I like never attempted it. I'm like, oh my gosh, did you see? Like he did that. He squatted down with one leg. And I went to like this like training facility one time, and this trainer was like, yeah, just do like 10 of these on each leg. And I'm like, you can't do that. John Sue does that. It's impossible. And he's like, yeah, do it like this. And he did it. And I'm like, you must be holy. All right. There's no way. All right. And then, yeah, sure. But the way John Sue sold it, he sold it like this is impossible. Right. So I loved his theatrics. He was fantastic. But not a lot of people know this. John Sue's a very good fighter too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was.
He was a great fighter. So we've been in fighting divisions where he and I never fought each other. All right. Where we were in the same division. And I remember feeling like this would be cool. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope he makes it through. He didn't make it through. Right. But he's really done it all. Like he's a very, very versatile competitor. Not only that, he had team forms as well. He did a team form with Al Safransky. Right.
Yeah. Right.
And that was a pretty dope one as well. He was on Jungle Care, Sidekick, International. He was on CJB, and he was on Paul Mitchell.
Yep.
So, and that's a guy who, if he just showed up for a year of karate tournaments, should be signing autographs.
Oh yeah, yeah. When he came to the battle in 2015, it was really cool to see him there. And just he came to judge and do the I can't even remember what it was called, the battle type thing that we did with the top 8 forms competitors or whatever they were voted in. Right. So that was cool. Really, Team Sidekick.
Like he's one of those guys that it's like he should be smart martial arts royalty.
Right.
Like, I mean, he'd be up there with like John Sue and Linda Denley.
Right.
He'd just be there. He'd just be like, you are sport martial arts royalty. You should walk around signing autographs. People should want that. You should walk around having people taking pictures with you because they should want to do that.
Correct.
He's my competitor of the week. How's it going, John? Who's your competitor?
Dude, you didn't tell me we were doing this, all right?
All right, I'm going to tell you who your competitor is.
I mean, I have all kinds of stuff going on in my head right now, so.
All right, let me think. Your competitor of the week. You know what you should do? You should pick a teammate, and you should have a story behind it. You should pick a teammate, since it's Diamonds Week, that you have a story of from the Diamonds. Now, I have to be an elite competitor.
Yeah,
there should be a story attached.
Jeez, that's a tough one.
How is it not? The teams you've been on, you guys have stories for days.
Right. Well, that's true. Man, I don't know, man. That's really tough.
I'll tell you. Your competitor of the week is Frank Jones.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's a good one. Frank Jones from New York was on Team Elite with me from 96 till 99. He was kind of on and off there during that time. Him and Jesse are really close. He still supports BFT and everything next level. we talked about him probably a month ago or a few weeks ago about him being that competitor that we thought was going to blow up and just really didn't compete enough. He was one of the most offensive competitors that we saw. Like he was just an offensive fighter. Like when they said go, his leg was up and he was chasing you with it, right? I've seen him axe kick people with both legs, spinning axe kick people with both legs, just insane, you know? And so he really was part of that. One of the competitors, along with Jody and Jesse and Akin and Little Hector, that made Team Elite, like everyone be like, oh, look at these guys. Like, I want to watch these guys fight, you know? I want to see Frank Jones fight Brian Ruth, you know, and they were great fights. You know, I want to see Frank Jones fight these guys, fight Trevor, fight everyone. I know he won a NASCAR title once. He won several overall grands. Grands at that time. There wasn't really overalls at that time, except that a few. So one of my favorite competitors, because him and I always had a running little gag of just like, we would just be chilling and doing whatever. And then he would just come up and tag me and be like, I got you point. I'm like, what? Like doing the most random stuff. And he'd want to like do a point fighting match, like in the middle of a restaurant or something like that. Right. So we would just start like point fighting each other in the middle of a restaurant, you know, just stuff like that. Right. That him and I would do, sneak up on each other and stuff like that. So a great guy. One of just someone who I always looked up to, and was always at my ring, cheer me on with my for my forums, fighting, everything. So great person, and would love to see him do something again as well. So yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's a good one, Frank Jones.
Yeah, but you know what I was thinking about as you mentioned that, like if Frank Jones then was fighting today, would he be one of the best kickers that there is today?
Because like the way that, as far as a powerful kicker, right? To me, the only other ones that were out there were Trevor, like just how powerful, you know, and then I mean, I think of someone like AP, you know what I mean, like just strong, you know, like, and those kind of guys that push people back with their leg, you know,
well, like Carlos turning.
Yeah, like Carlos, yeah, like that, like those type of fighters, you know what I mean? And
so I'm gonna ask you a different question.
He's a big dude, so I mean, I think he would be an amazing fighter right now. Go.
Would he be the best kicker today?
Oh, here we go with this conversation.
Just putting it out there. Would he be the best?
I don't know. I don't know. He would be top 2, I would think. You know, I mean, for me, I know, like, I don't know if yet. Are we getting into that conversation that we were?
No, we're not. We're not to get into that one. I'm just.
What are we doing here?
I'm planting the seed. The seed. So when people listen to the debate I was in later, they can look at it.
I'm like, wait a minute, what are you trying to do here? What are you trying to pull?
No, I'm just planting the seed.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's gonna blossom to an
he has a very interesting leg that was honestly like Ryan George kind of has a kind of like that, but Frank was a lot heavier and had more push with it, you know. So and could do a lot with the back leg, which sometimes Ryan does too, and it's kind of nasty. So
people don't really do that. People don't really use the back leg today.
No, they don't. But I don't know. So I think it would be exciting.
Guys like Ronald Brady's so good. Let's make guys like Pedro so good. All right, because they could switch, do both sides.
Switch. They could do both sides. Yep.
And then you look at them when they're switching, you're like, well, now what the frick do I do?
Yeah.
Like I had a whole strategy. That thing changes now.
Exactly. And that was something that you saw in the 90s fighters a lot that you don't see now. And so, yeah, I mean, that's something that I think is an element that's missing and could.
And really, I think in the 90s was probably the best martial arts athleticism, right, that there was. All right.
Right.
People were probably physically tougher. like could take stronger shots, probably in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right.
But just as much in the 90s though, too, I feel like.
Yeah. But then towards the end of the 90s, it wasn't the same.
It
wasn't the same.
No.
But I think the martial arts athleticism was really high. Right. So, I mean, you'd see jump spinning kicks in every other match.
Every other match. Yep.
You might see 2
spin hook kicks on both sides, tornado kicks on both sides, things like that, right.
You
Switch kicks.
2 jump spin kicks in an entire tournament.
Right.
Today. Right.
True.
But people are more efficient. Right. Today. I think as far as top tier fighters, they might be more physically fit. Right. Because I think the culture is a little different. All right. I think the culture is a little different just in general society, where it like your everyday guy can be a meathead, right?
Right.
Can be a gym meathead, just like that. Right. Because it's fun and it's easy. Right? It really is easy.
Yeah.
I pick stuff up, I put it down. Right. It's pretty easy to do. Right.
Oh God.
So it is. Right. You tell me how
go ahead. I get you.
It's not athletic to deadlift, right? But anyway, so I think we're missing guys like Frank Jones, all right?
Yeah.
So I think your competitor of the week, I think the martial arts of today is starving for Frank Jones.
For someone like Frank Jones, yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
Definitely. Well, and I think that's why there's competitors that's why we still would kill, like, if Trevor showed up at a tournament today, which he could, we're all going to sit there because he's huge, violent, but freaking athletic, and he's violent, and Frank, to me, reminds me, those two guys to me were that just, they're very similar in that part, so yeah. All right. We're getting close to the time here. All right. I'm trying to think, let's just share maybe, or just the first year that you went to Diamonds and maybe a story from it. So,
this is not hard to, this is a good but funny story. So,
all right, you want me to go first or you?
You go.
All right. So mine was 1994 for me. And again, I'm going to go into a little bit
I remember that,
of the CTE as well, of what tournament really was that tournament for you. Because the question was Diamonds, AKA Irish Open and
US Open.
US Open. And so for me, really growing up, it was the Battle of Atlanta. I'm in the Southeast, and that was the biggest tournament there was then in the early 90s. But the next one was the Diamonds. And so that was my first year, 1994, done the whole NASCA season the whole year. I ended up winning my forms division and making it to the runoffs. Was awesome, was just amazing. They took 4, I got 5th. And as a 10-year-old, you know what I mean? And so it was pretty cool. So it was great for that. The thing though that I remember the most about that was doing my weapons form before that. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't my weapons form. It was my form. All right. I'm about to go in for my form. And our ring's taking a little bit longer because it was 10 and under. So they had the 8 and under divisions and the 9 and 10 divisions. And the one next to us was the 11 and 12, right? Well, they're already fighting by the time we're doing our forms. So my friend, Butch Marks, is fighting in the ring next. And right before I'm about to bow in to go and do my form, a headgear comes flying in into it, right? I'm walking in and a headgear comes right by me. I'm like, I look and, the refs say, yeah, hold on. It was Butch grabbed the guy's headgear while he's fighting and throws it into the next ring. So I will never forget that. Okay. That was just nuts. All right. And then, that could have messed me up a little bit, but it didn't. I was pumped up. I was ready to win. And I did. Yeah. It was Carmichael, Jimmy, Kingston, and Bernadette, I think, that made the final. Then I think it was like a tie with me and Jennifer. I think we're tied or something like that around that for that next spot. But that was the way it is. And also something that someone did and isn't that year. Carmichael did the first 720, right? That day though,
4.
yeah, 94. That was 94. Yeah. So that day though, I haven't really seen anybody else do it at that time, but I remember going back and looking. I'm like, what did Jennifer just do? She did one of the first cheat 720s I'd ever seen. And
94?
In 94, yeah. And the way she did it was pretty interesting. So there was a few that I think have done it. I think actually Hector had done it that year. But as far as a female that had done it, that was the first cheat 720 a female had ever done, or any type of 720 a female had done. So
I don't even think I thought of that or did that.
He was in my division. Like they only split up boys and girls at like 4 tournaments. So and the rest of the time we went against each other. But yeah, man. So a lot of cool stuff that happened in that tournament.
Now that tournament, that year was a fantastic year too.
It was a great year.
When I think of 94, obviously you think about Carmichael doing the crow.
The crow,
Kingston. He's been on and he's talked about in Kingstoning's absolutely perfect sidekicks that that you just sit there and you're in awe of. All right.
And then
you think of Richard Brandon, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Coming back after his injury.
He won 2 rings. Nobody had ever done that. He won 2 rings in the same tournament. And it was like, geez, you're like magic, right? Now it's a little different. But but I really remember more than all of that, Anthony Price with that face shield. I remember thinking, kid you not, promise this is the truth. I remember as a kid looking at that thinking like, he looks like Boba Fett kicking people. He looks like a Star Wars, like stormtrooper, right? Destroying humans.
That's true.
Right? Because you couldn't see his face. Right. And he's on a stage, like axe kicking people, right? Just like stomping them through. Like, and if you just go through, this is what happens in sports. People don't get it, right? If you just go back and you just look and you go, oh, Anthony Price, yeah, he won 1 diamond ring. But you don't understand. Like, there was, the tapes can be found. Go to Black and Blue Video and check it out. There was no contest whatsoever. He was literally dominating everybody. There was no possible way. Maybe Brent Beatty, maybe he had he was contesting him a little bit, but no. Right. It was like him watching.
Brent was good that year. Brent had won a lot that year.
He was good. And I remember they had a good match because they tangled legs a little bit. But then it was just Anthony Price stomping on people.
Right. Yeah, he was insane that year.
My first year was 92. So and there's also that was my first year in martial arts. All right. So let's go down the line. Let's just talk about just overall just end result champions. Okay. Richard Plowden.
Yep.
Gabriel Naga. Elsa Cordero.
Yep.
Christine Bannon Rodriguez.
Yep.
Mike Bernardo.
For adults, yeah. Awesome.
Well, that's it. There was nothing else.
Right.
Right. And I have all 5 Infinity Stones. Right. So I think that's what I knew. So when I saw that before that point, all right, I didn't really know much about martial arts. All right. I knew what I did in my classroom. Right. I had probably done like 3 tournaments, locals, and I'm not exaggerating, right? And then I went there, and then I see this, and I'm like, and I hear Gabriel Naga screaming at people from the stage in the middle of his form, and I'm like, I didn't know you could do this, right? And last week we had, the women's legends on. I'd never seen anybody front kick like Elsa Cordero.
Yeah, like Elsa. Oh man,
and hold it like that. And I'm like, she would listen, guys. If you don't know, the way people lock and hold side kicks and hold them like they're vertical, she did that with front kicks.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm watching that. Like, I didn't know this is real life. Right. And then obviously the champion of champions was Richard Plowden because he was the end. Right.
Carmichael won juniors in 92.
Did he really? Carmichael? Yeah. I'm so sorry, man.
He did. Well, that's why I said, we just didn't talk about the juniors. So,
here's why I missed that. I want to explain why I missed that. So here's the other reason why this is interesting. Now, this is a personal funny story. So my dad, my brother, and I, we go to the Diamond Nationals. Okay. My dad's like, we're going to stay here all day. All right. Well, you guys are done with your competition. Let's go home. let's change. Because remember, I lived there. So
Right.
we're going to change out of your karate uniform. We'll get changed up. We'll come back for the finals. My dad locks his keys in his car.
Oh, God.
Promises the truth. So my dad's going around trying to find a coat hanger, right? Because this is 92, right? He's got an 88, right, car. So he's like, he's trying to get it out, right? So he can't get it out. My dad is as cool as a cucumber. I look back at that and think, like, how would I respond? I would be losing my mind, right? My dad I didn't really notice that anything was wrong, right? So I go.
It was him, Andrew and Carmichael.
Yeah.
It was because he won 92, 93, and then almost won 94 Triple Crown. So, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
You said it. No, you said it. No, so anyway, I'm in there. I'm watching the finals in my student uniform, all right, in my blue belt, all right, up there. And I missed part of the finals because here we are trying to get the keys out of the car. Kid you not.
Oh man,
that was.
I'm gonna have to start recalling a lot of just those times and those things because it was a lot, man. It was a lot. Yeah, I think Kimdo won 91. John won 90. So, but yeah, man, a lot of good stuff.
And wait a second. In 91, wasn't that when Hosam Pak got like all 10s?
All 10s, yeah. Yep.
But if there was ever a performance that should have got all 10s, I mean, shouldn't it have been Kalman?
Should have been Kalman, and it should have been Ming Lu when she first came out.
Ming Lu. Oh,
I think it was close to actually getting all 10s, actually.
That's a great point. I never considered that until this moment. Ming Lu should have got all 10s. Absolutely. What's your favorite? All right. What's your favorite Diamonds performance?
For me, it's like really as a fan, like not even when I was like when I was younger as a kid. Of course, when John won his first one, because that was 96, and I was,
Cranberries.
I was at his house every week. You know what I mean? I was training, I was competing. He had just come off the Mortal Kombat tour. In 95 and then in 96. So yeah, it was good because him and Carmichael had an amazing battle the year before, and Carmichael looked awesome. But then that 96 was really cool to see him do that, and to win as far as personal and real close. But dude, seeing Ming Lu, it was just something different, dude. It was just unreal. You just didn't see that like that,
Martial arts had never seen anything like that.
Right.
Our level of wushu was Richard Brandon. That was the ceiling.
Yep.
And then and then Ming Lu came in and said, "Let me kick that thing right through the roof." Like, what?
Right. Yeah, I mean, there were so many moments. 96 as well. Team Elite happening.
How about when people would use the Diamonds as your retiring performance?
Exactly. John Valera,
Pedro,
Tony Young,
exactly.
Many of those guys.
95 performance was amazing.
Well, he has 95. Yeah. But he retired in 97. So, yep. So, I mean, just lots of things like that. Yeah, that's a great one. Carmichael, 89 Diamonds when Charlie won and retired. And yeah, Sean Adams, dude. Yeah. Lots of great stuff, man. I mean, there's so many good ones. And there's ones later on, too. I mean, like when Jason won his first one, that was a big deal for me. I was just pumped up for him. That was my, teammate, just seeing him do that was awesome.
Andrew hit it. 99 Valera.
Oh, of course.
Another level. That was another level.
It was, I mean, I guess for me, I still say just him winning his first one was really cool to me. But 99 was, him leaving, it was just kind of bittersweet. So it was like, it was different.
Because we all had Jaws.
Yeah, right. 98, Pedro retired. Sorry. Yep.
No, that's false.
Oh, well, right. Okay.
98, right. Pedro retired. 98, Pedro did not win.
No. No one said that. No one said that he won.
Pedro was best in 97.
Right. He won in 97. Yes, but he'd retired in 98. That's what they're talking about.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So
I would say my favorite performances would probably be, and it's out there in high definition video, the super fights of Hamed and Jason in 2010 and 2011. All right. 2010 is probably the better one, but to go look at that. Those are just epic fights.
Those are great. Those are great.
And then obviously the 2011 Kalmanchoka was fantastic. I mean, you mentioned a bunch of other ones.
Yeah.
That
I had a lot of good ones.
The same. Here's one that I would say that's a little different, which is 2007 All Stars versus JPM team fight.
Yeah. That was I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So in the end, all right, listen, it's Raymond versus Damon Gilbert, right? And I got to give it to JPM, right? Of everybody on their squad, they should have had Damon Anchor, right?
Yeah.
And you look at it, and this is 2007 Raymond, right?
Right.
So he's 27 years old, right? He is a physical specimen at that moment, all right? He's doing full contact events. He's basically untouchable, right?
Right.
So go ahead and bring Damon Gilbert out, who's got muscles on muscles on muscles, right? So here's what happens for you guys that don't know it. And you can't find it on Black and Blue because Wally cut the video. So
right.
Here's what went down. I'm going to give you, the snippet.
All right. This is how we're ending the show.
All right. So they basically, it's tied. They go into overtime for the team fight final. And then they're circling. Ray circles, backside, takes off, goes back fist, and just clearly gets Damon. Not just once, twice. Pow, pow. All right? Damon, listen, loses the fight, loses face, gains street cred. He takes the two back fists straight to the nose, and then just turns back and just takes two left hands. Wham, wham. As late as it could be. There's no two ways about it. This is 1,000% late. Damon has said, they said stop too early. It was over. Refs were going in the middle. Damon goes, wham, wham, right? But has anybody ever punched Ray? Right? So Ray comes back. Now Ray starts stealing back. Now the both of them are just taking turns, just swinging on each other's face. No one's even trying to move their head or duck or block. They're just swinging. And I'm in the back like, yes, this is gold. This is fantastic.
Oh, man.
And that was one of my favorite Diamond Nationals moments.
Good stuff.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, this has been a fun show, guys. Everyone get ready. Have safe trips tomorrow. A lot of you guys flying out tomorrow, so have fun. And thank you, Virtual Fight Tour, for sponsoring us. And check out all the main points coming out. And if you only got to watch or listen to a little bit of us today, check us out on the podcast. And even if you don't listen to the podcast again, subscribe, download it. Yeah, download it so it helps us out. And tell everyone about it.
Go tell 15 or 20 of your friends. Give it to them as Christmas gifts. Next
week, we'll be talking with some guys from Adidas about their involvement in sport karate and kind of talk a little bit about diamonds as well, whatever happens. So, and VFT. All right.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next